Hidden in the shadows of history lies a secret society so powerful, so well guarded, that some believe it controls the very destiny of South Asia, and perhaps the entire world. Legend speaks of Emperor Ashoka the Great, ruler of the Mauryan Empire in 3rd century BCE India, renowned for his transformation from ruthless conqueror to benevolent patron of Buddhism. After witnessing the horrors of the Kalinga War, Ashoka vowed to protect humanity from destructive knowledge that could annihilate civilization. To achieve this, he supposedly founded a clandestine brotherhood, the Nine Unknown Men. These nine were not warriors or priests, but scholars and savants, each entrusted with a book of unparalleled knowledge. The books were said to cover subjects ranging from advanced biology to time travel, cosmic communication, and even weapons capable of mass destruction, far beyond the scientific understanding of their age. Unlike mythic tales, this legend persists with chilling consistency across ancient texts, colonial reports, and modern whispers of secretive power. Rumors claim that as centuries passed, the nine remained hidden, their identities obscured, passing their books to carefully chosen successors. Each generation guarded a different domain. 1. Propaganda and psychological warfare, controlling mass opinion. 2. Physiology, knowledge of the human body, potentially fatal pressure points. 3. Microbiology, secrets of unleashing or curing plagues. 4. Alchemy and transmutation, converting metals and altering materials. 5. Communication, advanced languages and possibly extraterrestrial dialogue. 6. Gravitation, manipulating forces to build technology akin to UFOs. 7. Cosmology, understanding the universe's origin and fabric. 8. Light, secrets of invisibility and harnessing energy. 9. Sociology, designing entire civilizations. Writers from Louis Powell's to Talbot Mundy described glimpses of this brotherhood in the 20th century. Mundy claimed to have met members in India during his travels, describing them as polymaths with knowledge surpassing modern science, capable of altering history itself. Mid-video hook. At this point, you might be wondering, could such a secret society truly exist? Could there really be hidden knowledge so advanced that even today's scientists can't grasp it? If you've made it this far, stay with us, because the mysteries ahead grow even darker, and the next revelation might change how you see power and history forever. Accounts suggest these 9 engineered breakthroughs that surface sporadically throughout history. Some believe early rocket technology in India, inexplicable architectural feats, and even healing miracles trace back to their secret books. When deadly pandemics were abruptly halted, conspiracy theorists whispered that unseen hands, perhaps the Nine, intervened to avert catastrophe. The modern era is no less mysterious. In 1923, British officials in India reported encountering scholars with access to manuscripts allegedly belonging to Ashoka's legacy. In the 1960s, it was rumored that Pope John III communicated with one of the Nine through cryptic correspondence. And in the late 20th century, unexplained scientific leaps in nuclear physics and aerospace engineering led some to speculate that fragments of the Nine's ancient wisdom had leaked into public research. Yet, the organization, if real, has never revealed itself fully. Unlike secret orders such as the Freemasons or Illuminati, the Nine's existence is whispered only in shadows, lacking symbols, temples, or public rituals. Their true strength lies in invisibility and influence over critical junctures of history, guiding human progress while preventing catastrophic misuse of knowledge. Skeptics argue the 9 unknown men are pure myth, a product of Orientalist fantasies during colonial times, romanticized into conspiracy lore. Indeed, there's no concrete evidence, no verifiable manuscripts, no authenticated artifacts. But the persistence of the legend across centuries, cultures, and independent accounts is difficult to dismiss. How do disparate sources, separated by thousands of miles and years, echo the same details of 9 books and forbidden wisdom? Modern science fiction and literature often draw inspiration from this tale. Characters resembling the 9 appear in novels, films, and comic books, portrayed as near immortal guardians of truth. But what if fiction merely reflects reality, masked to avoid disrupting the delicate balance of knowledge and power? Some researchers link the 9 to unexplained phenomena across South Asia, mysterious disappearances of rare manuscripts, suppressed archaeological discoveries, and technologies hinted at in ancient Sanskrit texts. Flying machines, vimanas, advanced metallurgy, and energy weapons. These could be remnants or controlled leaks from the Nine's hidden archives. Even today, prominent scientists occasionally make cryptic statements about knowledge humanity isn't ready for. Could they have brushed against the legacy of Ashoka's secret brotherhood? Might the Nine still be guiding humanity from the shadows, preventing us from wielding destructive power before we're wise enough to handle it? The true mystery of the Nine Unknown Men is not just their existence, it's their purpose. Are they benevolent protectors ensuring human survival? Or manipulators shaping civilization for reasons we cannot fathom? Perhaps one day their books will resurface and humanity will face the ultimate question. Are we prepared to know everything they've hidden for over 2 millennia? Beneath the restless waves of India's western coast lies a city long thought to be mere legend, until divers discovered ruins that could rewrite the history of human civilization. For centuries, the story of Dwarka, the fabled kingdom of Lord Krishna, has been told in sacred Hindu scriptures. According to ancient texts, Dwarka was a majestic fortified city with golden palaces, sprawling boulevards, and grand temples, ruled by Krishna himself. It was said to be so advanced that it shimmered like a jewel upon the Arabian Sea. But the scriptures also describe a devastating flood, a divine curse that swallowed Dwarka whole, leaving only whispers of its glory in religious chants and mythic poetry. For generations, historians dismissed the tale as mythology, until 1988, when marine archaeologists stumbled upon something extraordinary off the coast of modern-day Dwarka in Gujarat. Using sonar scanning and underwater excavation, they uncovered remnants of stone structures, walls, and grids that eerily matched descriptions in ancient texts. These ruins, submerged about 36 meters beneath the sea, stretched across several kilometers, suggesting a vast and planned metropolis, far older than previously thought possible. Initial findings were met with skepticism. Could this really be the lost city of Krishna? Detractors claimed natural rock formations were being mistaken for man-made ruins. But further dives revealed anchors, pottery shards, and streets laid out in perfect geometric patterns, evidence of urban planning unseen in that region's recorded history. Radiocarbon dating hinted that the site could be over 9,000 years old, pushing back the timeline of Indian civilization by thousands of years and challenging established narratives about early human settlements worldwide. Legends had long said that when Dwarka fell to divine wrath, it was not merely destroyed, but reclaimed by the ocean itself. The Mahabharata vividly describes towering waves engulfing temples and homes as Krishna departed this world. Modern explorers found corroborating signs: coral-encrusted steps leading down into the seabed, massive stone walls seemingly collapsed by water force, and inscriptions eroded by centuries of tides. Despite decades of exploration, much of Dwarka remains unexcavated. Powerful currents, limited funding, and the sheer size of the underwater city make full recovery difficult. Yet divers continue to retrieve artifacts, ornate sculptures, tools, and even seals bearing symbols identical to those found in ancient Indus Valley sites, suggesting advanced trade and cultural links. What makes Dwarka truly mysterious is its technology. Ancient scriptures describe architectural marvels, floating palaces, and even mechanical flying chariots. If these accounts hold any truth, how did a civilization so advanced vanish without leaving a clearer mark in history? Could their knowledge have been lost to the ocean, or did survivors carry it elsewhere, influencing other ancient cultures? The discovery also poses a scientific puzzle. How could a city of such sophistication exist millennia before the pyramids or Mesopotamian cities traditionally hailed as the cradles of civilization? Some researchers suggest rising sea levels after the last ice age could have submerged early settlements along India's coasts. But others believe Dwarka's sudden disappearance hints at a cataclysmic event, a massive tsunami, an earthquake, or even an unknown celestial impact. Local fishermen have their own tales. They speak of glowing lights beneath the water on calm nights, strange sounds echoing from the depths, and unexplained magnetic anomalies that disrupt navigation equipment near the ruins. Some divers report feeling an almost tangible presence while exploring, as if unseen eyes watch over the drowned city. Religious devotees see the discovery as vindication of ancient texts, proof that myth and history are intertwined. Pilgrims flock to modern Dwarka's temples, believing they stand above Krishna's sunken kingdom, praying for the lost city to rise again. Scholars, meanwhile, debate whether Dwarka could be humanity's earliest known metropolis, predating known civilizations by thousands of years and suggesting we've only scratched the surface of our true past. The ocean guards its secrets well. Beneath shifting sands and relentless currents, Dwarka waits, partially revealed, yet still enigmatic. Future technology may one day uncover its full expanse, revealing whether it was truly Krishna's legendary kingdom or an unknown chapter of human history. Until then, the sunken city of Dwarka remains a tantalizing mystery, a bridge between myth and archaeology, a whisper from an age when gods walked among men and entire cities vanished into the sea. On moonless nights, in the remote expanse of the Bani grasslands of western India, a strange phenomenon dances across the horizon. Glowing orbs of light that appear, vanish, and defy every scientific explanation known to man. In the arid stretches of Kutch, Gujarat, where the desert meets the salt marshes of the Rann, locals speak of chirbati, ghost lights that have haunted the region for centuries. First recorded over 300 years ago, these mysterious lights appear as floating spheres of blue, yellow, or sometimes reddish glow, darting swiftly through the night sky, hovering over treetops, and even chasing travelers before disappearing without a trace. Witnesses describe the lights as intelligent, almost playful. They flicker like lanterns, moving in zigzag patterns at astonishing speeds, often vanishing when approached. Nomadic herders tell chilling tales of being lured by the lights, believing them to be guiding beacons, only to find themselves lost in the vast, unforgiving desert. Others speak of eerie encounters where the lights seem to circle campsites, pulsating brighter as if observing human presence. Unlike ordinary atmospheric phenomena, Chirbati behaves unnervingly, like a living entity. Observers report that the lights respond to sounds. Clapping or shouting sometimes makes them flicker or shift direction. Attempts to chase them with vehicles or drones have failed. They retreat into darkness or merge with the stars above, leaving no evidence behind. Scientists have long tried to demystify the phenomenon. Some attribute it to combustion of marsh gases, like methane, spontaneously igniting in the humid air. Others suggest ball lightning, a rare electrical event. Yet these theories falter. Chirbati appears on dry, windless nights, sometimes in areas devoid of marshland or storm activity. The light's agility, making sharp turns, changing colors, hovering silently, does not match known chemical or meteorological processes. In 2012, a team of researchers set up night vision cameras and electromagnetic sensors in Bani grasslands, hoping to capture definitive evidence. While the cameras recorded several luminous orbs, attempts to analyze them proved inconclusive. Radiation and magnetic field measurements spiked during sightings, hinting at an unknown energy source. No physical particles or gases could be sampled, leaving scientists baffled. Local folklore offers otherworldly explanations. Some believe Chirbati are the spirits of travelers who perished in the desert, wandering eternally as glowing souls. Others say they are the watchful eyes of celestial beings protecting sacred lands. Shamans warn that those who follow the lights risk being led into hidden realms from which few return unchanged. Encounters can be unsettling. In 1998, a group of armed rangers on night patrol reported multiple orbs surrounding them in silence. When they attempted to approach, their compasses malfunctioned, pointing in random directions. Panic set in as the lights multiplied, moving in synchronized patterns before vanishing instantly, leaving the desert eerily still. Despite fear, Chirbati has become part of Kutch's cultural identity. Festivals celebrate the lights, artists paint their glowing trails, and tourists venture into the desert hoping for a glimpse of the unexplainable. Yet even with increased attention, the phenomenon remains as elusive as ever. Never predictable, never fully captured on film, defying logic with every fleeting appearance. Some modern theorists speculate an extraterrestrial link. The light's erratic movements and seemingly intelligent behavior mirror reported UFO phenomena worldwide. The desert's isolation makes it a perfect observation point for unknown aerial entities. Still, without physical proof, these remain tantalizing theories, adding to the mystique rather than solving it. The Bani grasslands, under a canopy of countless stars, feels otherworldly at night. The silence is profound, broken only by desert winds. Then, without warning, a glowing orb rises from the horizon, drifting like a silent lantern. It pulses softly, moves closer, and hovers as though aware of your gaze, before shooting upward into the darkness faster than the eye can track. You're left questioning reality itself. To this day, Cheerbody challenges science and ignites imagination. Is it a natural but undiscovered energy phenomenon? A glimpse into parallel dimensions? Or the spirits of the desert forever wandering under starlit skies? Until definitive answers emerge, the ghostly lights of Bani remain one of South Asia's most mesmerizing and unsolved mysteries. One of the most enigmatic disappearances in modern history isn't that of a mythical creature or ancient king, but of a revolutionary leader whose fate remains unsolved to this very day. Subhash Chandra Bose, a towering figure in India's struggle for independence, was no ordinary leader. Charismatic, fearless, and often at odds with conventional politics, Bose envisioned a free India liberated not through negotiation, but through force. Leading the Indian National Army, INA, he allied with Axis powers during World War II to fight British colonial rule. His bold strategies and stirring calls for freedom earned him the title Netaji, meaning respected leader. In August 1945, as World War II drew to a close, Bose allegedly boarded a Japanese military plane in Taiwan, attempting to reach Manchuria. Hours later, reports surfaced that the plane had crashed, killing everyone aboard. Official accounts claimed Bose suffered fatal burns and died soon after. But from the moment news broke, skepticism emerged. No body was ever recovered, and contradictory witness testimonies fueled speculation that the crash was staged. Multiple inquiries followed. British intelligence remained unconvinced of Bose's death, while Japanese officials provided limited evidence of the crash. Over decades, committees investigated, yet no definitive proof surfaced. Eyewitnesses claimed they saw Bose alive after 1945. Some swore they encountered him in Vietnam, others in the Soviet Union, even in China, long after his supposed death. A particularly gripping theory suggests Bose fled to the USSR under Stalin's protection, seeking to regroup and reignite India's freedom struggle. Declassified intelligence documents indicate that British and American agencies suspected Bose might have been alive in Soviet territory well into the late 1940s. Yet, no public records from Moscow confirm this, and Russia has never disclosed archives that could solve the mystery. In the 1960s and 70s, new rumors surfaced. Bose had returned to India in disguise as Gumnami Baba, an ascetic monk living in seclusion in Uttar Pradesh. Followers of this theory presented photographs, handwriting analyses, and personal effects allegedly linking the monk to Bose. Some witnesses claimed the Baba knew intimate details only Bose could have known, but government inquiries later declared insufficient evidence to confirm the identity. Adding to the puzzle, several official investigations, including the Shah Nawaz Committee, 1956, Khosla Commission, 1970, and Mukherjee Commission, 1999, each reached conflicting conclusions. The Mukherjee Commission, after years of research and interviews, ultimately rejected the plane crash theory altogether, asserting that Bose did not die in Taiwan. The Indian government, however, refused to accept this verdict, leaving the matter unresolved. In 2016, India declassified thousands of files on Bose's life and activities. While they shed light on his political maneuvers and INA operations, none provided conclusive evidence of his fate. The files did, however, reveal surveillance of Bose's family decades after his disappearance, suggesting authorities believed he might have been alive. Public fascination with Bose's disappearance has only grown. Streets and statues honor him as a hero, while documentaries, books, and investigative journalists chase elusive clues worldwide. For many Indians, the idea that Bose survived, planning a dramatic return to liberate his homeland, remains a powerful and romantic notion, one that refuses to die. Mystery deepens with alleged post-war sightings. Vietnam, 1946. Reports claimed Bose met Ho Chi Minh to discuss anti-colonial alliances. Soviet camps. Rumors of Bose imprisoned or negotiating with Soviet leaders circulated in intelligence networks. India, 1950s to 1980s. Multiple witnesses swore they met a man resembling Bose, using aliases, avoiding cameras, and speaking cryptically about unfinished missions. What motive would he have to vanish voluntarily? Some historians argue Bose wanted to escape British prosecution and Western retribution for allying with Japan and Germany, choosing anonymity until a better political climate arose. Others theorize a secret pact with foreign powers kept him hidden, possibly involving Cold War intelligence operations. Even Bose's family remains divided. Some accept the crash as truth, while others relentlessly campaign for further investigation, believing the government is withholding answers. Bose's grandnephew, a historian, has publicly demanded Russia release wartime records that might hold the final piece of the puzzle. This disappearance has transcended politics, becoming legend. Much like Amelia Earhart or D.B. Cooper, Netaji's vanishing challenges our understanding of history. How can one of the most prominent revolutionaries of the 20th century simply disappear without trace? Perhaps the greatest mystery is why, after decades of inquiries and declassified files, the truth remains elusive. Was it a simple wartime tragedy clouded by misinformation? Or a deliberate, carefully orchestrated escape by a man unwilling to abandon his cause, even in death? Until conclusive evidence emerges, be it recovered remains, verifiable documents, or undeniable eyewitness testimony, the fate of Subhash Chandra Bose will remain one of South Asia's most haunting unsolved enigmas, a story where history and conspiracy blur into one. High in the frozen Himalayas lies a remote glacial lake, silent, still, and surrounded by hundreds of human skeletons. Who were these people? How did they die, and why does science still struggle to explain their presence? Nestled at over 16,000 feet above sea level in India's Uttarakhand state, Rupkund Lake, known chillingly as the Skeleton Lake, has fascinated and terrified explorers for nearly a century. Surrounded by jagged peaks and perpetually cloaked in mist, the small, shallow lake reveals a macabre sight when its ice melts. Hundreds of skeletal remains, many with flesh and hair still preserved by the cold. The discovery dates back to the 1940s, when a British forest ranger stumbled upon human bones scattered around the frozen shore. At first, speculation ran wild. Some believed they were soldiers from a lost World War II patrol. Others thought ancient bandits met their end here. But closer inspection revealed something far stranger. The skeletons were centuries old, numbering over 300, and included men, women, and even children. Early theories suggested a catastrophic landslide or epidemic wiped out a traveling group. Yet as forensic studies began, unsettling details emerged. Many skulls bore deep, circular fractures, injuries that puzzled experts. There were no signs of weapons or combat, and the bones lay dispersed evenly around the lake, not buried or stacked as if by survivors. In 2004, a scientific team conducted extensive DNA analysis and radiocarbon dating. Results shocked researchers. The remains belonged to two distinct groups separated by 1,000 years. One group dated back to the 9th century CE, while another appeared from a later period. Stranger still, they came from diverse ancestries, including South Asian locals and people with Mediterranean lineage, an inexplicable finding in such a remote Himalayan location. The cause of death remained elusive until forensic anthropologists examined the skull fractures more closely. The pattern matched injuries caused not by blades or blunt weapons, but by large, round objects striking from above. Ancient songs and folklore of the region told of a goddess punishing outsiders with iron balls thrown from the sky. Scientists now theorize that a sudden, lethal hailstorm, with hailstones as large as cricket balls, could have killed the travelers instantly. While this explains some deaths, it doesn't solve the entire mystery. Why were people from such distant lands traveling together through this treacherous, high-altitude pass? There are no historical records of trade or pilgrimage routes involving Mediterranean settlers here. Additionally, the presence of multiple time-separated groups suggests Rupkund claimed victims repeatedly, centuries apart, under eerily similar conditions. Even today, locals speak of curses and restless spirits haunting the lake. Nighttime trekkers report strange echoes, sudden drops in temperature, and visions of shadowy figures moving around the frozen waters. Some claim to hear faint chanting or rhythmic drumming carried by mountain winds, sounds that vanish when approached. Modern expeditions face extreme dangers. The trek to Rupkund is grueling, with oxygen-starved air, unpredictable avalanches, and freezing winds. Recovering artifacts is difficult. Skeletal remains crumble easily after centuries of exposure. Despite this, researchers have uncovered wooden artifacts, leather footwear, and jewelry, hinting that these were not armies, but rather pilgrims or travelers, possibly caught in a storm during a ritual procession. The hailstorm theory gained traction when scientists studied climate data and historical weather patterns, confirming the possibility of such a deadly event. Yet skeptics argue it cannot fully account for all skeletons, especially those appearing centuries after the first group. Did history simply repeat itself? Or does the lake itself hold a magnetic, unexplained draw that leads travelers to their doom? Adding to the enigma, recent DNA research published in 2019 uncovered evidence of genetic links to regions as far as Greece. This baffled historians. Why would Mediterranean people journey into isolated Himalayan trails during medieval times? Some theorize a forgotten expedition or lost trade route brought them here. Others propose an ancient pan-Asian pilgrimage site, long erased from collective memory. Despite decades of scientific investigation, Rupkund Lake offers more questions than answers. It challenges our understanding of ancient human migration, climate catastrophes, and high-altitude survival. Mystics suggest supernatural forces guard the site, while rationalists believe untold historical events await discovery beneath the ice. Standing at Skeleton Lake today is a haunting experience. The silence is oppressive, broken only by howling winds. Bones protrude from the snow like frozen sentinels. Looking into the crystalline water, one feels as though the lake itself watches, an unspoken witness to tragedy after tragedy. Scientists continue their search for definitive explanations, employing advanced genetic sequencing and climate modeling. Yet, even as data accumulates, the mystery deepens. Rupkund remains not just a site of mass death, but a time capsule of lost journeys, human resilience, and nature's overwhelming power. Perhaps someday the full story will surface, a narrative of pilgrims, storms, and ancient migrations. Until then, the skeleton lake of Rupkund stands as a chilling testament to how many secrets South Asia's mountains still hold, and how fragile humanity remains against forces we scarcely understand.